Good evening and welcome back to postseason NoQuipFootball here on NoQuip Sports, your no funny business source of just football news. You get in, you get out in 5 to 7 minutes or less, and hopefully you pick up some fantasy advice and some pick'ems along the way. So folks, let's jump right into it with a divisional round review as we have been going through the predictions. For starters, I did get a game wrong this weekend. That game was the Packers over the Cowboys. I actually called the Cowboys to win the game, but let's jump right into the recaps. All of these games are really fun to watch, folks. The Falcons-Seahawks game was a very fun one to watch. Both of those teams going back and forth. There were some clear points in the game in which the Falcons had gained that momentum that they needed to push through and win the game. It was a very, very fun one to watch. Russell Wilson ended up crumbling, unfortunately, but also those high-flying Falcons really came through and just pushed it all the way to the end. The Patriots-Texans game was less exciting. However, one thing that a lot of Patriots fans are discounting is that without the 98-yard return and without the interception within the 10-yard line, which are pretty much anomaly-type plays, especially in the playoffs, that really shouldn't be happening at all. That game is actually 20-16 instead of 34-16. So keep that in mind, Patriots fans. Please make sure to check yourself. I know I'm a fan myself, and I'm checking myself big time because I was actually pretty afraid during that game, and we definitely should not have been, in my opinion. But anyhow, moving on to the Steelers-Chiefs game, another incredibly exciting game coming down right to the last second. The Steelers winning by 2 over the Chiefs, who were not able to put together the two-point conversion. And then the other game in which we had another important two-point conversions, the Packers over the Cowboys. And the reason that was important is because that then sent it into a score points at the end of the game mode where you had 3 field goals in like the last 4 minutes, which is super exciting. Now, of course, the Packers did end up coming away with it. Mason Crosby after being iced. So that was a very exciting, big, huge moment for him. And unfortunately, I was wrong, and I feel really bad because I love the Dallas Cowboys. I wanted them in the Super Bowl, as you all know from my previous picks. So, now that we have some updates, let's talk about my predictions for this conference championship week. Currently, I have number 3 Pittsburgh visiting number 1 New England. I believe New England wins this game. We've seen, and by we I mean the Patriots have seen Ben Roethlisberger for so long. He doesn't really change what he's doing. I suspect that the game plan is going to be fairly similar to the usual with him, with of course some wrinkles because it is the playoffs, granted. And I also expect Pittsburgh to come out high-flying too between Ben Bell and Brown, of course. So it'll be an interesting game, but I think the Patriots do in fact prevail and definitely have a big bounce back from that Houston win, which was very sloppy and arguably just a horrific game by the Patriots. Next, NFC playoff picture predictions. So Green Bay slid in here. And they're going to be visiting number 2 Atlanta Falcons. I'm predicting the Atlanta Falcons to win this game, which is, as I'm realizing, I used to say that if Seattle or New York shows up in the playoffs against the Patriots, that it's going to be a toss-up and it's going to be very hard to decide. But after watching that Atlanta game, it's the same to them. I mean, honestly, if that defense comes ready to play again like they did against the Seattle Seahawks, this might be a very tough game to play. So, having said that, my new updated Super Bowl predictions are the Atlanta Falcons against the New England Patriots. That, of course, is down in Houston for the Super Bowl this year. And I am going to... you know what? I'm going to hold my call on that one. I want to see what happens in the conference championships. But anyways, folks... also, big news today, January 16, special eligibility for underclassmen college players to be drafted is happening today. So if there's any folks who are juniors and below, I believe, today's the day to try and get eligibility for the draft, even though they have not graduated college. There's specific rules for that. So for those of you who are looking for those more youthful players up in the NFL, keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully you get some exciting ones out of this. And also, while you're here, please don't forget to subscribe to NoQuip Sports here on YouTube by clicking that red button down below or the annotation above my head. And in addition, you can follow us on Twitter at NoQuip Sports, and on Facebook, you can like us. On the Facebook and the Twitter, we live tweet games. We'll do live video for usually with co-hosts, hockey and football. And in addition to that, we also post our YouTube videos, and our YouTube is our more serious channel where we report the news kind of just like this about the leagues that we work with. with. So anyhow, folks, once again, as always, have a fantastic day and go football.